the heck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, clock of dawn. Now I'm yawning, wipe the cold from my eyes. See who's this paging me and why? It's my man Pop from the barber shop. Told me he was in the gambling spot and heard the intricate plot. Now people wanna stick you like fly paper, neighbor. Slow down, love, please chill, drop the caper.
What's up, my people? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling on this beautiful Tuesday evening? Back for another episode of My Voice, Our Agenda. I hope all is well with everyone. Please share this video. It's a very intellectual episode. I want to touch on some things that hopefully you guys can utilize in real life and use it to help you grow as a human being. Make sure y'all share this video. If you haven't subscribed to My Voice, Our Agenda, please do so. First, I want to give all praise to my Lord and Savior. Without you, I'm nothing. With you, I'm everything. Thank you for giving another chance to reach out to my people. In life, we have to look at things in many different ways. You always hear this saying, and most of our parents say this back in the day. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. That is so true. But today I want to talk about keeping that focus within you. Keeping your focus straightforward. Handling your business. Maintaining that integrity. All the while being silent. I think the most important thing is being silent. See, silence moves mountains. It keeps your peace. What do you mean by that? When you have silence, it can be two ways where you can have an impact on your surroundings. Silence can be a beautiful song within you. It can pinch anyone that's trying to pull you out and to have you explode, to have you scream. But they fear you because you're silent. They don't know what's going on. See, a lot of people get confused because they don't understand the quiet one. That person that don't say too much, even when they speak, they keep it brief. That person keeps everyone around them guessing. It's the loud one that's predictable. Well, being silent has so many levels to it. Being silent can feel like a nail in your soul. Because while you being silent, you saying so much. And I think I've learned that so much through wisdom. And a lot of us go through so much in life, right? Trials and tribulations. And we have adapted to our society where we react in anger. We tend to yell and cause commotion to bring that attention to us. And we thinking that's therapy. I say to you, remain silent. As much as you can, remain silent. Do not let people know what you're thinking. Do not let people know when you're hurting. There's different ways to express yourself, but being silent is the key to life. Being silent is the key to having peace, that inner peace. Don't say too much. I think personally I've made that mistake because I'm a people person and I speak a lot. I'm very private, but I have learned the wisdom as of late to be silent. What do you mean by that, Prez 69? Basically, a lot of people have different outlets on how they express themselves in a negative way, where people start to ask questions, start to judge you, because you put your personal life into the public. You're not being silent. And I think people need to understand what silent is. It can either bring you peace or bring you chaos. The peace comes from you are still focused on what you have to do as a human being, but you're not letting the world know about it. And you feel good about yourself. Sometimes being silent can also it can also bring judgment because people will start to assume because you're not speaking. People often confuse your silence for something as if you're hiding something. Let them think whatever they want to think. But silence is that important. True silence is not born from weakness, it's born from the wisdom within. To be silent is to be submissive. You know what I'm saying? Like those who speak too much, those who are loud and obnoxious, and they just blur everything out into the atmosphere, into the environment, they lack courage. Being silent gives you courage. You have to have a lot of courage to be silent, because when the storm of life is banging you across the head, the negativity, the trials and tribulation, it takes courage to stay silent. You can be silent and have a conversation with God, just you and Him. You can silently express your anger, express your thoughts to Him. Stay focused, remain silent, have that courage. And I think, you know, having silence is not the silence of fear. It's the silence of knowing the quiet that lives in the soul, who no longer need to prove to anyone. You no longer have to perform for anyone. You no longer have to go above and beyond to show the world that you belong in the mix of the world. We know the world is torn apart. The world is filled with evil. The world is filled with haters, the envy, the jealousy, the stabbing in your back. It's a dark place right now. And you have those that's very loud about it, expressing themselves in the wrong way. Remain silent. Remain filled with integrity. Stay focused. Not everybody has to know your business. Not everybody have to be involved in your daily process of growth. I'm not afraid to say that. I have learned to be more silent because I'm trying to protect my peace. You know, I don't think you understand how much courage it takes for you to be silent. Anybody can make noise. Anybody can holler. Anybody can jump up and down and bring that attention to them. That's easy. Try being silent during dark times. Try being silent when somebody all up in your face, somebody stabbing you in your back, your best friend talking about you, your wife cheating on you or your husband cheating on you, your child is being disrespectful, your boss is getting out of line, just trying you, hoping to fire you, give you a reason to fire you. Try being silent during those times. You know how easy it is to to yell to the top of your lungs, to let the world know that you're angry. That's easy. That's not hard to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's cool to bring that beautiful energy and throw it up in the air, to let it catch the demons that's waiting for it, to grab it, just so it can come back into you and control your soul. That's what yelling is. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where it's necessary for you to be firm and let that person or people know how you feel. When it's necessary. But silence kills because they don't know what you're thinking. And you don't want them to know. That's important. You know, but the real power is self-respect and your self-worth. And I don't think, you know, people understand that silence is the is a show of strength, right? You become weak when you're looking for a reaction by making noise. You become weak because now the enemy knows how you feel. Now the enemy can challenge you and maneuver and do everything it needs to do to destroy you. But when you're silent, the enemy is scratching his head. We call it the suspense of life. It's very important to know that. I don't have to make this a long, drawn out video, but I just want to speak on being silent. You know, I heard this 1,000 times. Even my dad used to say it. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. Put that in perspective and understand why it's important to be silent. Focus and remain silent. Why is that so important? You become weak when you're loud. And I love that. You know, you have to disappear in a different mindset when you're among people that's too loud. And loud doesn't always mean verbally. Loud can also mean the presence of an individual, the way they move, the way they act, the way they treat others, not having self-worth. And sometimes that leads to the mistreatment of those that they love. That's another form of being loud through your action. You know, I don't, I didn't know this coming up, but you know, I've learned not to chase attention, right? Not to chase the clap and the applause, not to look for the glory from others by being the loudest one in the room. I don't need your applause. I don't need your clap. So I don't go above and beyond to be heard. I have a sense of humor. You know, a lot of people around me say, "Oh, you just love attention." People tell me I love attention. I think it's my personality, but I'm learning, as hard as it is, I'm trying to be more silent because I understand that people really don't like that outgoing person, that person that's not silent. Not that you should care, but I'm finding more peace within myself by being silent. I am. Like coming here and doing my podcast, I'm all alone. When I'm, working on my book or I'm doing a little piece of artwork, which I haven't done in a while, or I'm going to the riverfront by myself, just listening to the nature, that silence. Check that book out. It's coming out, A Different Silence. I promise you. It's called A Different Silence. That's my next book that I'm releasing. And you can understand what I mean by being silent. It carves out a new you. It gives you a different rain before the sunshine. You breathe fresh air of peace. You no longer feel that stress, that agony of wanting that applause from others that don't give a damn about you. You chase clarity from others that really don't care about you. But when you silent, none of that matters. And I love that, right? Like, we can always understand freedom, the freedom of being silent. Because when you have the freedom of being silent, you are in full control of who you are. You are complete control. Because now you don't block everything out that's around you. That's silent. I'm not going to drag this on. I just want to talk about being loud and wanting all that attention. It's not healthy. But being silent and staying focused is peace. The mindset is at peace. The heart is at peace. Your soul is at peace. Even when they're mad at you and they're yelling and you just looking at them, inside you just smiling because you at peace. It's a time and place to be loud and to be heard. Evolving as a man and woman, you have to evolve. It's a process to get to this point. I've reached that point. Nothing to hide. I'm just private. Hit that like button. Share this video. Subscribe. My voice, our agenda. Integrity is everything. Either you have it or you don't. Stay focused. Remain silent. If you want to express yourself without being judged, without looking for that applause to be heard, close your eyes. Have that conversation with God. He'll listen to you. He won't judge you. My voice, our agenda. Thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe. Share this video. God bless y'all. I'm out.